Bazaar Morning Call once again, wishing all our viewers a happy Gudi Padwa. It is a celebration time across the globe as well. So a lot of Asian markets are shut this morning, be it Shanghai, Taiwan or even Hong Kong. The SGX Nifty is indicating a flat start. So let's see how Friday pans out. But our entire team is here with us to give us a list of top 10 stocks as we head into trade today. And some optimistic views coming in first up from Titan. So let's go across to Mangalam and find out more. Hi Mangalam.
That's right. So, Titan said that they've delivered yet another shining quarter, or the growth momentum has continued for FY19 as well. 21% revenue growth is what the company has posted in the last fiscal. More importantly, the jewelry business, which is the mainstay of the company, showed a 22% growth for this whole year, and which is pretty much in line with what the company had guided for. The jewelry growth has come in on the back of increased stores as well as their increased penetration into or gaining market share from the unorganized space. The watches division has also done well, so 16% growth out there. The company has crossed about 100 crores in terms of sales for the smart watches. That's a positive. More importantly, the eyewear division continues to grow 23%. They continue to add customers. That is their key focus. The company for the next year targets a 20% growth despite muted economic outlook. So that's a positive. Having said that, the stock is at a record high. Morgan Stanley is positive on the stock. They have an overweight rating on the stock with 1250 rupees in terms of a target price. But the stock is at a record high. So let's see how this goes. There is optimistic commentary coming in from them.
Actually, for me, I would take the commentary with both hands, Mangalam. We have had enough and more people speaking to us about slowdown. So first you gave us news from Marico a couple of days back, and now Titan, so things are not as bad at all as the consumer durables and discretionary guys made us believe. And one of them is Maruti. Sonia, what's the latest from Maruti?
Well, 10 days back, there were reports indicating that Maruti has cut production drastically by about 20% plus because of weakness in demand. The company has come out and clarified that, yes, they have. So they've cut production across the board by about 21% because of subdued demand. Their passenger vehicle production is down by about 21%. The only space they haven't cut production is in vans. Rest all compact vehicles, the entire passenger vehicle category has been cut quite a bit. If you look at what's been happening over the past 3 months, in March they cut production by about 21%. In Feb they had cut production by about 8%, and this compares to an increase in production in Jan by about 15.6%. So 2 months consecutively they've been cutting production in order to rationalize it with demand. Of course, this news has been known, so it's sort of factored into the market, but it's still negative news nevertheless.
Okay, so let's see how the market reacts, because Maruti was behaving as if it would put a bottom, but the news definitely is negative, confirmation of negative news. Ekta, what news do you have for us from Cipla?
Well, actually positive news coming in for Cipla, because their Goa facility, which is their most important facility, one of their most important facilities when it comes to the US business, has received an EIR, or Establishment Inspection Report, from the US FDA, which means that the inspection which is in question, or the latest inspection, has now been closed by the US FDA. So this particular inspection which they've referred to goes back to Jan of 2019, where the US FDA had issued 6 observations to the plant. So at that point in time, there was an adverse reaction, but it seems as though the Goa facility is now out of the woods with this EIR.
Okay, well, thanks a lot for that. But it is the start of the earnings season, and GM Breweries is generally the first one that comes on board. Looking disappointing this time around. Nupur is here to give us more details on that. Hi, Nupur.
Hi Sonia. Well, it's a kickstart for the quarter 4 earnings, but on a weak note, as GM Breweries reported a big set of numbers late last evening. They reported a revenue growth of just 5%, while gross margin saw a decline of 500 basis points to 34% from 39% on year-on-year basis. Also, raw material as percentage of sales came in at 69% versus 61% a year ago. Profit remained flat at 24 crores. Also, the stock has fallen almost 20% since the start of this year, and as we enter into the election year, the volume growth for the industry remains a concern, as indicated by the other players for the first quarter of FY20. Overall, weak set of numbers reported by the company can see some pressure on the stock in today's trade. Back to you.
All right. Thank you very much for giving us that price perspective as well, Nupur. But as you say, election season now, so maybe the next quarter is good for them. Or what I mean is the current quarter is good for them.
Okay. Well, you never know. What's not been good is what's happening in Jet Airways. So inconclusive meet on funding. Money has still not come through. Ritu Singh joins in to give us the latest on that. Ritu.
We're given to understand from sources that the lenders' meeting held in New Delhi yesterday for Jet Airways remained inconclusive, with the lenders not reaching an agreement on the release of 1,500 crore rupees of interim funding. But in a statement released by State Bank of India, it was said that the lenders intend to pursue the bank-led resolution plan for stake sale in Jet Airways in a time-bound manner under the present legal and regulatory framework. But do remember, the Feb 12 circular under which the resolution plan was initially being worked has now been quashed by the Supreme Court, and therefore we're given to understand that lenders will have to relook at some of these revival plans that they were working on, something that is of course not been detailed in the statement by State Bank of India. Further, the statement went on to say that expressions of interests will be invited starting the 6th of April, and the deadline to submit the same would be on the 9th of April. But the lenders, the statement said, are cognizant of the fact that the outcome of the efforts of the lenders will be dependent on the kind of interest that is shown by the parties on the sale of stake in the company. And further, it ended by saying that while all efforts were being made for this stake sale in the company, other options may be considered by the lenders should these efforts not result in an acceptable outcome. Now, this statement from State Bank of India, in stark contrast to the kind of confidence that was shown by State Bank of India Chairman Rajneesh Kumar just a week or so back, when he said a lender, a new buyer for the company would be in place by the 31st of May. But now, in the statement, they're admitting that other options may have to be considered, perhaps because the kind of interest that they had anticipated in the airline is not really being seen. In addition, we're also given to understand from top sources in the banking industry that even that 1,500 crore rupee of interim funding, which they did plan to release, now in the light of the number of aircrafts that have been grounded for Jet Airways, may also be too little, too late.
Point taken, Ritu. It's a little scary. And it's a whole lot of money. It's 8,500 crore of straight debt, and we still don't know how many guarantees off balance sheet. It could well rise to 11,000 crores in a jiffy. Yeah. This is bad. Every time we think that NPAs are over, there's some such blow that keeps coming. One hopes for the sake of Jet, for the sake of the economy and the bankers, this one takes back to the skies, but now it's looking bleaker and bleaker. Well, Sonia, you have news on Godrej Properties?
Yes, positive news flow. I expect the stock to be in the green. They've acquired a company, Wonder Space Properties. They actually had 25% stake in it. They've increased the stake to 96.03%. Now, Wonder Space Properties constructs and develops land in the NCR region. So, they're hoping to increase their presence there. Apart from that, they have also added a new 5-acre residential project in Vashi, Navi Mumbai. So this project will offer about 500,000 square feet of saleable area. So things are really picking up at the Godrej Properties end. It is the best performing stock in the real estate sector this year. It's up already about 40-odd%.
I lived 14 happy years in Vashi. And Godrej, I mean, considering that they give good properties, it's tempting to go back. Well, Rima, you have some fresh data from the TRAI.
Yes, Lata, TRAI has released the aggregate and the company-wise financial performance for the quarter gone by, the December quarter, and they say the adjusted gross revenues are down 0.25% in the December quarter. If you compare it sequentially, if you look at it year-on-year, it's declined by 6.5%, and breaking it wise, company-wise, if you see, Jio has gone up by 14.5%. Both Vodafone, Idea and Bharti have reported a sequential decline of 4.5% in the December quarter. But remember, this is backdated data. It's for the December quarter. We will be looking ahead to the March data, but it just reiterates that competitive intensity is putting pressure on the incumbents.
Okay, thanks for those details. All that has been reacted to, I suppose. Well, Sonia, we continue with the auto sales numbers, and VST Tillers numbers were announced.
Well, yes, disappointing numbers. I expect the stock to be in the red. We know that the tractor industry, the tiller industry has gone through a lot of pain, right? It's reflective in the numbers. Just look at this. Power tiller sales have fallen 31% in March for VST Tillers. Year to date, power tiller sales are down by about 25%, so not looking good at all. They do tractors as well. Tractor sales are down 45% in March at about 989 units, and year-to-date, tractor sales are down by about 28-odd%. So, yes, I expect this stock to definitely be in the red this morning.
All right. And with that, we have some more stocks for you. Rima, you have that list?
Yes, Lata. Let me start with Alembic Pharma. Positive news because they've got an establishment inspection report from the US FDA for the Panile facility. So basically a green signal coming in. So that's a positive for Rallies. They've got a suspension order for its Ankleshwar unit in Gujarat and that has been revoked. So now that plant reopens. For Hindustan Copper, the company's indicated that the copper production has gone up by 12% in FY19. And VIP, there was a fire accident at the company's warehouse in Uttar Pradesh. They said that the assets damaged by the fire have been covered by insurance, but I guess there will be some production loss till they manage to get the facility up and running. So a bit negative for VIP right now. Back to you.
Okay, thanks a lot, Reema, for that. So that's a long list of stocks that will be in focus today. Here's a quick recap in case you missed out on any of them. Stocks with positive news flow. You have Titan, Cipla, Alembic Pharma, Rallis, Hindustan Copper and Godrej Properties. While stocks with negative news flow this morning, there's Maruti, Bharti Airtel, Vodafone Idea, Jet Airways, GM Breweries, BST Tillers and VIP. We'll take a quick break on that note, but coming up on the other side,